Hi, I'm Joe Peoples. They assume you're an expert. That's your job. That's right. Every buyer and seller, when they're working with you as a real estate agent, when they have selected you, they assume you're an expert. And you don't want to let them down. I want to give you 3 areas for you to focus on to ensure that you can show up consistently as an expert. And they really fall into this idea of like control. There are things you have control over. There are things that you can influence, and there's things that you have no control around. So let's just start with the no control part. As a real estate expert, you have no control over the market, at all. I mean, the market is this bigger thing, much bigger than you are. It's the result of lots of little decisions, but it's not yours to decide on. What is in your influence, though, this next circle inside, is that you get to influence the people you come across. You get to influence things by the choices you make. This whole span of influence. And then on the very inside, and this is the part about being an expert, is what you can control. I use this phrase, I say, control the controllables. For you to be an expert, you want to be able to control everything that you have control over. And what is that? Well, you have control over the choices you make. You have control over the actions you take. You have control of the thoughts. And as a professional, as someone who's going to be an expert for their consumer, right, for the buyers and sellers, you want to spend your time on the things that allow you to be the best you can be to help them have a successful sale. So how do you know what those things are? Well, just for starters, this is a lot about the service delivery. And so that service delivery is saying, okay, how do I be an expert on the valuation of properties? Because every buyer is looking to have what they call best value from the transaction. And that's going to mean something a little different for every buyer. But your ability to know the market, what sold, to be able to do good comp work, to be able to show like alternate things, or I would say alternate features for other homes in the neighborhood, so that they can make a best decision on value. Okay. Now, the other area that you want to be in control of, you want to be fully dominant around because you have control over it, is that timing. They're counting on you as the agent to get the timing right. They're going to tell you about where they want to be, what they expect to happen in their life, and you have to set the proper expectation around timing. And how do you do that? Well, you become an expert on your contract. You know what your dates are, you get your dates lined up, you talk to them about what time they have to move or when they need to be somewhere by what time. So you're always managing that timing expectation because you have complete control over it, knowing what it is. And then the last part is about controlling the surprises. That may seem like an oxymoron, but you can control the surprises because in a real estate transaction, there's a lot of things that are pretty routine. Now, yes, you could have an experience like one of my agents did. Just before the walkthrough the day before closing, the house burned down. That's not going to happen very often, but it can, but not most likely. So what am I trying to say? From a keep things in order, like avoid surprises, it's about always future pacing. What's going to happen next for your client? Now, when you control your controllables, you have a much better opportunity to influence the outcome. And those things outside your control, they're just outside your control. But to your consumer, you will be an expert. That's what I have for you today. Thanks for watching the video, because we want to live up to the expectations of our consumer, because when they believe we're an expert and we show up that way, you can build a profitable and predictable business.